Oh, you're not going down that one road, are you? That is the worst wind I've ever ridden in my entire life.
We have ridden almost 1,700 miles in the Southwestern Safari so far, and I needed some breakfast. But I think someone was eyeing my food, and I wasn't going to give none of it up, because this sure was tasty.
Leaving the historic El Rancho Hotel. A wonderful time here. I love this place. The charm of yesterday, the convenience of tomorrow.
On day 7 of this adventure, we head to Petrified Forest, and then south through the mountains of eastern Arizona and western New Mexico, then back to Arizona to Morenci for the evening.
It's kind of windy again. Probably going to be fighting this for at least half the day, like I did yesterday. Cleaned and lubed the chain this morning. Used up all my cleaner. Still got some lube left though. Farewell, New Mexico. It's been great. Pretty much just drove there so I could stay at the El Rancho. And we are being officially welcomed into Arizona, the Grand Canyon State. Windier here. I think I'm in a headwind too. My mileage sucks. And we've had tough winds pretty much all day so far, although, you know, I've only been on the road, I don't know, an hour. It's really bad here on I-40 West. I'm riding along at about a 15-degree slant just to keep going straight. Man, the worst thing of all, you know, of course, you're going slower so that you can keep control, right? And the speed limit's 75 and I'm doing like 60. But everybody's passing me. There's not a ton of traffic, but the worst one is the trucks. It's bad enough when a truck passes you and there's no like whiz and stuff, because, you know, they have a big disruption in the airflow. They block the wind. It lets up, and then boom, all of a sudden, bam! And the buffeting that's all behind them, like a double whammy. That's one reason. See, it sucked my bike like that. I'm turning off this highway in less than 5 miles. Kind of hoping somehow we can avoid these winds. They're not a direct headwind, it's kind of at an angle. When I got off the freeway to gas up about 5 miles back, I had to go over the overpass, and it was definitely harsher of a wind force when I was turned to 90 degrees than it is like this. So I think it's more of a headwind than it is a side wind. My gas mileage is terrible. It's abysmal. I think I put in what, a gallon and a half maybe, or something like that. It was like 38 miles to the gallon instead of the normal 48. And I was going slow, so I should have got better mileage. But fighting this wind is brutal. You know, and the sky ahead makes it look like there's a huge sandstorm or something. All I could say is thank God that my left shoulder pain, which can get pretty severe at times, and I know ways to help, I don't know if manage is the correct term, but allow me to just get the riding done that I need to get done. And that's just by reversing my normal riding position, palm down, arm forward normally. So I put it behind me, palm up, and I rest my hand on top of the pannier. And that helps considerably. But that means the hand's not on the handlebar. So in extremely heavy winds here, and if it gusts all of a sudden, I kind of need my hands on the bars. Can't believe I'm actually passing somebody. Somebody's actually going slower than me right now. See, those guys got a nice tail. They're probably getting great mileage. Whee! Yeah! It's been blowing tumbleweeds in front of me all day. Fortunately, I haven't hit one yet, or one hasn't hit me either, because it can mess things up more than you might think. Don't ask me how I know. And the wind has been a significant inconvenience and at times difficult to manage, but we have managed. Double check what's going on here. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. Despite appearances to the contrary. See, you can see the wind there. God damn.
Petrified Forest looked interesting, but in this windstorm, I wasn't about to get off the bike. The GoPro battery died, so all I have is the Insta360 without audio. I would ride a good 130 miles in what would be the most harrowing experience in my 40 plus years of riding. It was all I could do to keep the bike upright. I just had to keep going, and I knew eventually I could make it to a point where either the wind was less or I could finally get off the bike and take a well-needed break. That took nearly 3 hours.
Finally arrived at civilization in a town called St. John's. I went inside and I just had a little salad. I wasn't really very hungry, but I was beat. I was tired. I couldn't even hold my hand straight. Manhandling the bike through the wind and having to lean in the direction it was coming from at that point, and squeezing with my legs extra hard and stuff, and I couldn't stand. The wind was too strong, so my butt really started to hurt. Finally got here. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm taking a break. There was a guy near the door talking to the cashier, and I was asking him about how much further until they thought the wind would die down once I get into like mountains and whatever. And the guy said, where are you headed? Oh, you're not going down that one road, are you? That might be closed for snow and this and that. Now, Google Maps says it's not closed, but he seemed to think that was a really bad idea to take. Something tells me it's probably okay to ride, but I've had enough adventure for one day. And he said that this alternate route is a nice ride too, or at least scenic. I don't know if it's probably not as twisty, and that's what I really liked about this route, is it was a blast to ride. Really fun road. So we have altered our route. I was going to take this route, and he suggested I take this one. So that's what I'm going to do. I will trust the local. That is the worst wind I've ever ridden in my entire life. And I've ridden in some pretty nasty wind, but not for 130 miles. For like 10 or 15 miles. So it's about 30 miles to the next town, and I will top off my tank there, I think. Yep, still windy.
I figure we'll probably have some wind for another 30 miles or so. This amount here is annoying, but not near as bad as it was earlier. I doubt it'll get worse than what I already had. Those mountains up ahead are probably, with the snows, probably where I was headed. We're gonna detour east around them. So, yeah, we got about a good 3 hours of riding left. I'll probably sleep like a baby tonight, though. I'm gonna be beat. I just left Springerville, I don't know, 5-10 minutes ago. Had a lot of problems getting gas. First station, 80% of their pumps were out of service, and then one of the two that was, it wouldn't work. Please see cashier. I bailed on that, and I went to another place in town, which is probably the only other one, and there was a massive line there. And then I wait in line, and I get up to the pump, and it's like the screen's like error code. So I had to wait more to get to another pump, and then the thing pumped incredibly slow. Oh my God. Because, you know, I wasn't on empty or nothing, and it took forever to get it filled up or topped off, really. Well, we're finally back on the road. It's still quite windy, but less so. And I still fight it, but it's not like I'm constantly in fear of being blown over or into the other lane. We're okay. I mean, I'm able to do the speed limit without feeling like I'm taking my life in my hands. Look at all the white caps on this lake. Blown around.
I was disappointed that I wasn't riding US 191 as originally planned, but this alternate route had some nice sections, and it would get even better.
Yeah, it's a nice view. Okay. Yes, I would like fries with that. Extra crispy, please. A small one. I shouldn't have it. Damn it. Today, I'm having the fries. Ever. You know what I'm talking about. Oh yeah. Definitely some fries. And there's going to be a cold one at the end of this day too. That will get sucked down. Here at the snow level, about 8,000. We don't go up a whole lot more. Haven't seen any snow right up next to the road, not like in Utah the other day. That didn't impact my riding at all. Ah, so this is Alpine, okay. Lives up to the name. Nice little lake here. And the roads around here suck. They're either rough or they have stuff in them that wants to grab your tire, like an edge trap. Okay. This isn't too bad. The grillin' still. The zippers on these jackets are on the wrong side. It's a men's jacket, but the zippers are women's style. I suppose women are used to that. I, however, am not, and I find it difficult to get it to get in place so that I can zip it up. And the zippers they chose are all a little bit too small. They needed bigger ones. Well, you know, my gloves didn't blow away. Hello, New Mexico. Somewhere in the mountains of western New Mexico. Pulling into Glenwood. Golden Girls. Best breakfast in town. Darn. Wish I could go there for breakfast. I bet you it's good. We're out of town, but the speed limit is still 35. Nice view of the range there.
It was kind of odd, starting the day in New Mexico, riding into Arizona, then back into New Mexico, and back once more into Arizona.
30 miles to go. And it looks like we've got some good twisties coming up. Spot where I pulled over, changed out some camera batteries. It was real windy, like 100 feet before I pulled out, and it was fairly calm in that pullout. I was like, oh, sweet, okay, good spot. Oh, wow. Check this out. Was not expecting this view. Man, the wind here is pretty nasty. I've about had it with this wind shit. I'd like to speak to the manager. Wind's coming out of that big valley. Darn, that is compromising my ability to carve these twisties like a Thanksgiving turkey. Would you like stuffing? Great. Fresh oil. Great. All this wind, fresh oil. Man, they sure did double down on the tar snakes. There's actually a light section. I think in some spots there's more tar snakes than there is actual pavement. And we're about to enter Clifton, which is right next to Morenci. I actually passed the city limits sign about, I don't know, 7 miles back. I don't know what that is about these states. Their city limits are long before the actual city. Yeah, I think you're probably good for the next 500 years of growth. The liquor store. Cool.
Clifton was known as the wildest town in the territory.
This is the San Francisco River. And we're a long way from San Francisco. Oh, that's a cool little railroad engine. A little engine ink. What he lacks in size, he makes up for in heart. Relatively small town, but that's the second dispensary I've seen.
In 1856, minerals were discovered in the area, leading to gold, silver, and copper mining.
Smoothest pavement in the West. Keep right into the gravel. Yeah. Morenci.
For a while, the mine at Morenci produced the most copper of any mine in North America.
I think the lobby is here. Yeah. I can't tell. Doesn't even look like any kind of hotel or motel I've ever stayed at. Well, I'm gonna go for the door that doesn't look like somebody's room. Watch, do not enter. This looks like the restaurant. Lobby hours. Okay.
You don't want to miss the next episode, so mosey on down, partner, and click that subscribe button. In episode 8 of the Southwestern Safari, we ride southern Arizona and try to avoid a shootout in Tombstone. Next time on Ride On.